It's all going wrong. We're down in ninth in the Premier League. There's a player mutiny. I don't know if I'm going to make it till Christmas without getting sacked. Hello and welcome to Season 17, Episode 3 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we have two massive games. We're at home against Chelsea in the Premier League, and then away against Sporting Lisbon in the Champions League, which hopefully, if we win, that will get us through to the knockout rounds of the Champions League, which we really need, because it's all going a bit wrong. Positives first, we're actually only 4 points behind Chelsea, who are top of the table, despite being ninth in the table. It is a really close Premier League this season. There's only 6 points separating first place from 14th place after 12 games. So it's not disastrous, but you wouldn't think it wasn't disastrous if you listen to the players. The fans and the board are still okay. The players are mutinying. It's all being led by Enrico Martelli, who has, he's been in and out of the team for a little while, but basically he had a strop. There was a meeting. He led the moaning. I cheered everyone else up. He carried on moaning. He then started moaning to the media. So I stuck him on the transfer list, stuck him in the under-18s. He's already agreed to go to Juventus for like 20 million quid. So he's going to be well out of the way pretty soon. But yeah, he's being a bit of a troublemaker after 10 years at City as well. And I think it all comes down to the fact that throughout those 10 years, he's been a regular starting centre-back. This year, because we've got, Semenov, along with Murat and Osborne, he's fourth choice centre-back, and I've just had enough with him. He's causing problems. He is dead to me. But form has just been all over the place. I think the last time you were with me, it was the Man United game, the Valencia game, the Man United game. So there's only been 4 games since then, but we've not won any of them. We got knocked out at the Capital One Cup by Forest, but it was only our reserves playing in that game, so it wasn't a massive issue. I accidentally put the whole of the team who played in that game on the transfer list and into the under-18s because I had them all selected so that I could put them all on a few days rest so they'd be ready for the Spurs game at the point that I decided to bin off Martelli. So that gave me another 10 players who got a bit of a grump on, but they all came straight off the transfer list back into the team. Sorry lads, bit of a mistake, but they're not best pleased with it. So that was a bit of an error. We then went and played Spurs. We were 2-0 up, but they scored an 89th minute equaliser. We were then 1-0 up against Valencia in the Champions League at 90 minutes, and they scored 2 goals in injury time to win 2-1. And then we were ahead against Everton as well, and they came back and brought us back to a draw. So we need to get our Premier League form back rolling. Obviously, if we beat Chelsea today, we're then only 1 point behind them and could potentially find ourselves back up in a Champions League spot, which will hopefully calm everybody down. The one good thing, we're having our sticky form, but everyone else is at the same time. So if we can put together a nice run of wins, there was a time last season where I think we won 9 league games on the bounce. So if we can have a run of form like that again, we should find ourselves comfortably at the top of the table. But we need to make a move quickly before that gap starts to widen. And obviously, if we do lose against Chelsea today, suddenly that 4-point gap becomes a 7-point gap. We probably find ourselves in the bottom half of the table, and it starts to look a little bit iffy at that point. And then we've got the Champions League. At the moment, because of that turnaround against Valencia, we're not yet through the group. We were a minute away from qualifying, but now we're playing Sporting, who could conceivably beat us, and we could go into that last game against Salzburg needing a win to actually stay in the Champions League. And I'm pretty sure if we get a month, 6 weeks down the road, and we're still mid-table in the Premier League, and we get knocked out of the Champions League, I think that might be curtains for my Man City career. On a positive note, England have qualified for the Euros thanks to an 86th minute goal from a 26-year-old striker making his debut. Phil Gregory from Brighton scored. I threw him on as a substitute. At that point, it was 1-1 and we were third in the group. It was such a tight group. Switzerland were top at that point. Bulgaria were winning their game. Where's our group? Bulgaria were winning their game as well, and we were going to finish third and we were going to be out. But that Phil Gregory goal pushed us to the top of the group. Bulgaria go in the playoffs, and Switzerland, really unfortunate to completely miss out on the playoffs and won't be at the Euros. So pretty tough on Switzerland. I don't know if there's any best third place stuff, because I guess they would win that. Oh no, having said that, Czech Republic, Montenegro, so Switzerland are done. In fact, even Poland, who finished second in Group C, haven't made it into the playoffs. So there was no guarantees that Bulgaria would even make it into the playoffs. It looks like one team misses out. Serbia are a bit lucky to get in on 14 points when Poland didn't. I'm not sure what the reasons for that are. But anyway, at least we're in the Euros. So if I get sacked by Man City, at least there's something to try and win this season. But we're not going to get sacked. We're going to go and beat Chelsea today. That's the England team. Why are we looking at that? We're going to go and beat Chelsea today. And the team that are going to do it are these players. Unfortunately, Semenov has come back from international duty tired and Murat is suspended. So with Martelli now languishing in the under-18s on the transfer list, Ricky Simpson needs to come into the side and make his league debut for the club. You should be familiar with Ricky Simpson because he's played 4 times for my England team now. We signed him... when did we sign him? A couple of years ago. He was out on loan at New York City, then out on loan at Leicester. He's back in the squad this season as a young 19-year-old English player. Not the ideal game for a young centre-back to make his debut, a game we must win, but needs must. Martelli is done. I'm not having him in the team. So Simpson comes in to partner Ron Osborne at centre-back. Donnarumma still in goal. Fullbacks are Merteza and Dolezal. I'm not sure if you've seen Dolezal yet. He's another youngster who was out on loan last season. He spent 2 years on loan at Valencia, who we know all about. Did pretty well for Valencia last season. He's come back in. He's played a few games for me this season. Can play at right back or left back. He's going to play at right back today because Lazarov got injured on international duty, which just seems to be the thing that he does now. With Ron Osborne having to move across into centre back, Dolezal comes in as our next best option. In midfield, Jans is finally fit again, so he can partner Koulibaly. And then it's Umputu, Gilberto and Tigana behind João Roberto. Ayrton is fit-ish but tired after international duty, but he's ready and raring to come on as and when he's needed. Hopefully he won't be, because we'll be 6-0 up after 10 minutes. But, you know, I'm really nervous. Anyone who follows me on Twitter, if you go back a couple of days ago, you'll see me ranting about how I'm worrying. Look, Chelsea are favourites, and look how ridiculous this is. If we win, Chelsea could drop down as far as 8th. We could go as high up as 4th. What a ridiculous Premier League this is this season. It's like the real life Premier League. But I don't want to talk. I just want to get into the game. Stop pestering me, stupid media folk. But we've got to win. If we lose today, I'm expecting the board to invite me in for the dreaded meeting when they give me 5 games to save my career, which I'm confident we'd do okay with, because I still think we're a good team. We're playing well, even though we're losing. We're drawing games more than losing them, and we're drawing really late on, and we're still playing really well. We're controlling possession. We're getting more clear-cut chances. I think it just comes down to we're being quite unlucky at the moment. But when you're at Manchester City and you've spent £500 million in the last 18 months, that's not really an excuse. You kind of have to be good enough for luck not to be a factor. And at the moment, we're just not. So we've got to have a win. We seem to have started okay. Half an hour in, we're really controlling the possession. No team's had a proper chance yet. I thought we had a penalty there when that flashed up, but it was actually an offside, which then didn't seem to stop play. I don't really know what's happened there. Oh, and Chelsea are in. Donnarumma with a good save. We cannot let Chelsea win this game. It would be absolutely disastrous. And even though it's early on in the season, a 7-point gap behind Chelsea, we know what Chelsea are all about. They're not going to be as rubbish as they were last season. We can't afford to give them a 7-point gap. So 0-0 at half-time. A draw wouldn't be a disaster in this game. Obviously, league position-wise, it's not ideal, but it still leaves us just 4 points behind top of the table if we draw. So, as much as I hate being in this situation, I'd kind of be happy with a draw, although obviously a win would be phenomenal. Oh, I'm getting so stressed out. Koulibaly's struggling a little bit for fitness. Everyone's come back off international duty exhausted. I probably should have rested them from training. Send him off. Send him. Oh, he sent him off. Right, we've got 25 minutes against 10 men of Chelsea. Gilberto with the free kick. That was rubbish. Koulibaly puts it out, back out to Gilberto. Come on, lads. This is the world giving you an opportunity. Why didn't João Roberto tuck that cross away? It comes back out to Jans. Tigana now. We've got to get a shot in here from somebody. Koulibaly feeds it back into Tigana. Dolazal with the cross to Mputu, and it hits the crossbar. Oh, come on, lads. This is the opportunity to start turning the season around. Right, we need to take Koulibaly off because he is shattered. Lucas Boma comes on. I don't think I've shown you him yet. He's one of our summer signings, 19-year-old German. Came in from Köln, where he'd been playing for the last, all his career, but he's been a regular in the German league for at least a couple of seasons. He can play anywhere in the middle of midfield, probably more defensive-minded than attacking, but for 19 years old, he's going to be some player. Look at that. So, quite happy to have a German wonder kid to bring on when needs must. João Roberto, not having a good game. Do I bring on Verelst or Ortega? Got to be Ortega. It's a big game. It's Chelsea. I probably, against any other opposition, would have brought on Verelst there because I want to give him game time to let him start fulfilling some potential. But we know Ortega can score goals, and we need a goal desperately. Tigana to Dolazal. Come on, lads. Let's get a goal now. What happened there? That was absolutely rubbish. Oh, do we go two up top? Do we take off Mputu and bring Verelst on? No, because we've got to take Jans off. Right. Logic tells me to bring Lewis Bradford on. But the need to attack tells me to bring Ayrton on, and I think that's what we're going to have to do. So Ayrton comes on for Jans. We're going to drop Gilberto back into midfield and do this. So you're going to become the winger. You're going to become the advanced playmaker. Come on, we need a goal. In fact, should we swap those two around? No, because Gilberto doesn't like being box to box. Okay. Right, 15 minutes to get our season back on track. If we let Chelsea get a goal here when they're down to 10 men, I think we need to start looking for a new job. Ortega with the free kick. I don't know if that was a save or it bounced back off the crossbar. Even the commentary saying we're piling on the pressure. Ron Osborne can't direct his header properly. Come on, we've got 2 minutes. Let's get a goal. We have been all over Chelsea, especially since the red card, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen, and we're going to pick up what I think is our 3rd league draw in a row. It's not a disaster, and we'd have taken that before the game, but we should have won that game. League table is not looking pretty. We need to start making roads up that sooner rather than later. Jans is only just back from injury and has now broken his arm and is out for 3 to 4 weeks. Right, let's go and play Sporting and hopefully qualify for the knockout rounds of the Champions League. So the team to play Sporting, a couple of changes from the Chelsea game, mainly in the defence. Donnarumma is still in goal, but we've moved Dolazal over from right back to left back. Murat and Semenov come back into the team. Osborne moves out to right back, so Merteza and Simpson dropping out of the team. Merteza's on the bench. Simpson's not registered for the Champions League, so he can't be involved at all. In midfield, it's Koulibaly and Bradford. Then Mputu, Gilberto and Ayrton coming in for Tigana, with João Roberto up front. Right, this is another must-win game. I would very much like to win a game of football at some point. It seems to be, it's been a long, long time. Tigana's just being rotated. Let's not worry about that. I don't know who Matty Oliver is. You can have him. I don't care. I just want to win this match. Right, come on, lads. Let's go and win the match. We've on, if you take the cups into account as well, I think it's 7 games without a win for Man City now. We've had those 2 wins with England, but 7 games without a win at Man City. I don't know how I've not been sacked yet. It's only because the rest of the Premier League is being a bit rubbish as well. So it's not left us so far away we can't rescue it. But if this goes on much longer, it's not going to end well. So let's get this sorted. Let's get Champions League qualification out of the way. Confidence building, and then we're playing Newcastle at the weekend, who are also having a rubbish start to the season. They're down in 12th, so that's winnable. And João Roberto, it's good to have strikers back in the team, and if it all ends like this, we're fine. We're through to the next round, and we can start reassembling the season, and we'll look back on this episode, and at the end of the season we'll all be chuckling about, oh, look at, bless him, oh, Kev thought he was going to get sacked, and here he is winning a Premier League and Champions League double. What a silly bear. Oh, he won the Euros as well, despite saying England were rubbish. What a joker. That's how I'm hoping it's going to be. I still can't help shake the feeling that a sacking might be imminent, though. I thought I was going to get sacked from England until 2 minutes before the end, when some nobody will never play for England again got us to the Euros. Oh, very close. Let me know in the comments, what would you do about this situation we find ourselves in? Am I doing something obviously wrong, or is it just bad luck at the moment? Because I think we're playing well. And we just need to inject some confidence into the team somewhere. I guess this is one of those situations where I should probably be doing some team talks. But you've seen me do team talks before. I mess them up. Unfortunately, it seems Matt Kilgallen's messing them up at the moment as well. At least we've got a penalty. This is reassuring. This is always a sign of confidence. If we can score this, we know João Roberto's confident. If he misses, well, he doesn't miss penalties. Yes. Oh, the comeback is on. The season starts again here, and it's all going to end swimmingly, guaranteed. Or you can sack me. I hope you're watching, Manchester City board. Oh, what am I saying? Why do I speak? Oh, we're in again. João Roberto hits the post. Oh, see, we're starting to look like Man City again. This is actually quite good fun now. I've not enjoyed the last 5 games. Donnarumma with a good save, but oh no, it begins again. We've just lost the ability to defend, and I don't know where the blame lies. Is it with Donnarumma? Do we need to try and find a better goalkeeper? Because like I said before, I'm not entirely convinced there is one. And we've got we've got 3 world-class centre-backs at the club. We've got Lazarov, who can't even get in the team on a regular basis. We all know what he can do. The defence should be good. João Roberto, I'm so glad he's fit again. He's got his hat-trick. Let's not worry. Let's just score more goals than the opposition. Back to the old Ipswich ways of, I don't care if we're rubbish at the back. Let's just keep scoring. When you've got a striker like him, we're okay. The problem is, I think he's 31 now, so we're not going to have a striker like him for much longer, and we've all seen what happened when he wasn't around. Didn't end well for us. Right. Come on, Matt. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's a team talk. Matt gets it. Good old Matty Kilgallen. I need to meet that man. Ooh. Who does he play? I assume he's still playing. Who does he play for now? Let's track him down. Want to meet him. Right. It's all gone a little bit quiet, which I suppose is a good thing because, I tell you what, Valencia must be... they're only drawing against Salzburg. I would like to see them knocked out now just because we know they can be dangerous later on, and I'm less worried about Sporting as potential opposition further on. What am I saying? We're still playing them, and they're... But yeah, Valencia, we know what they're all about. We know they can beat us. They did it last year. If they can get out of the way at this stage, that's a potential difficult semi-final opponent out of the way. What am I saying? We're not going to get that far. Oh, getting ahead of myself again. Oh, but Manchester City's going to my head. I need to go and manage someone lower down again. Oh, Posh Job came up the other day. Very tempted. But then I remembered I'm supposed to be being realistic, and I don't think I'd leave City for Posh in real life. Right, and Putu's coming off. Iowa is coming on, and he's going to play as a winger. And we're just going to go 2 wingers, because why on earth not? I don't think I've ever done that at City. Wilkes can come on for Koulibaly. Let's see what happens with 2 wingers. We've never done it before. It might work brilliantly. Or we might just not create anything because we don't have a playmaker on the pitch anymore. Who knows? That lasted 10 minutes because Tagana's going to come on for Ayrton now. Because I like having a playmaker on one side. Right. I think, fingers crossed, this is sorted. Although Sporting are attacking again. Oh, Donnarumma with a good... See, he can't be the problem. He has that in him, that ability to just pull off a world-class save at a moment's notice. And this has been a really open end-to-end game. There's 7 clear-cut chances between the 2 teams. And luckily, we've come out on top. And we've qualified for the next round of the Champions League. So that, at least, should save my job for a little while. which is good. Did we pick up it? Yeah, Semenov is probably going to have to go on holiday because he's still struggling a little bit. Hopefully Murat's ready again for Newcastle. Well, there you go. Hopefully the next time you're with me we'll be top of the league because we'll have gone on a run of wins. I'm not sure what the fixtures are looking like over the next month or so. I mean, these should all be winnable. Newcastle, Sheffield Wednesday, Brighton, Bournemouth, Cardiff, Palace, Leeds. Really, we should win every Premier League game for the rest of 2031 and New Year's Day, and then go into Arsenal, that being a top of the table clash. If we don't do that, I think I'll be sacked before then. So I think what we might actually do is I'll just play those games and see where we get to. Unless it looks like I'm going to get sacked, we'll probably be back for maybe the Arsenal and Liverpool games, or maybe even... It's leaving it. I tell you what, rather than doing this on a video, I'll decide offline when the next video is going to be. If you've enjoyed today's episode, make sure you pop a like on there. If you're discovering me for the first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And thank you very much for watching.